vote them out.
Wike is building mansions for judges. This is a man who has been severally accused of trying to put judges in his front pocket. Same Wike has his cousin in INEC as an INEC commissioner. It was that guy that just conducted a election. That is the country where you believe that elections will be free and fair. No politically exposed person should be a judge. No politically exposed person should be in INEC. 85% of people in INEC today, they are politicians. I took Professor Rufus to court. She's an APC carrying member in Bayelsa, and she was appointed an INEC national commissioner. Look at Wike's cousin. He's a national commissioner in INEC. Wike's wife is a judge of the Court of Appeal. Politically exposed persons should not go anywhere near our judiciary. So, a situation where before the electoral process starts, the process is already rigged. You cannot expect anything credible out of the process.
God bless you. You can't lie you can't keep lying to yourselves that you have a chance or you stand any chance in dislodging these criminals. You don't. No, you don't. The entire system needs to collapse, right? And a conversation around setting up a new one should begin, or else you're done for. There's no miracle. There's no two way around it. What are you going to do? They are not going anywhere. No, they're not. God bless you, Jared. This commenter that said that when they want to use China and Russia to jail you, they will say they are the ones sponsoring you to overthrow Tinubu. But the same Russia and China, they are begging Russia. They will go to Russia to go and get grains. They go to China to go and borrow money. Yeah, they are not Russian agents. Russia money and Russia grains and Russia weapons and Russia this and that is not alien to them. Abi? It's not bad if they are getting it. But you holding a Russian flag means that Russia is sponsoring you to overthrow them. So you will go to jail. You go do jail. Oh. The situation is that bad, right? Now, they are failing in all fronts, as you know, economically. Wale Edun was begging people yesterday. And guess what that was all about? Nigeria is cash crunched, indebted, right? In serious debt, economic crunch. Unemployment high, poverty higher, insecurity highest. And according to them, some of you are keeping your dollars in the house, so they are going to give you 9 months amnesty to bring out your dollars. I don't know who they are talking to. As part of the economic policy of Tinubu, after floating your naira, and then they go borrowing, they go borrowing, and the rest of you are currently going sorrowing. So Wale Edun boldly told the world yesterday that Tinubu's illegitimate regime has shared 25,000 naira each to 25 million people. But there's no way they will share this money where you know go see them. There is no proof. There is no trace. But because he said it, it must be true. And when we multiplied 25,000 naira by 25 million people, guess how much that is? 625 billion naira. That's how much they said they've shared to the poorest Nigerians. in the last 6 months. Remember that chart I shared with us a few days ago, where they claimed that they have shared 38 billion naira. Wale Edun has increased it now to 625. He just pronounced the number. 25 million Nigerians have been given 25,000 naira each. No, that's not true. But because Wale Edun said it, it must be. They are robbing you blind. They are stealing, like money is going out of fashion. Money is going out of circulation. I have never seen this kind of kleptomaniacs before in my life. I have not. I know criminals in Nigeria are looters, but the level at which these ones are looting, and in the face of the abject poverty, widespread hunger, economic ruins, I have never seen anything like this before. So they're asking you, if you have dollars at home, go and put it in the bank. Go and pay it to the bank. Nigeria needs dollar. It is Tinubu's economic policy, one of the ones that they said is working on, that whatever you are going through right now is just baby step of pain. Remember? Wale Edun.
And there is going to be a release today, details by the federal government through the Ministry of Finance and of course in conjunction with the central bank, a initiative, a program starting today, 31st of October, and lasting 9 months that will allow people to bring in cash that is outside the banking system. So therefore, it is unsafe, it is unsecure, and it is outside of legal limits. They will be allowed without any, they will be allowed forbearance to bring those funds, dollars, to bring dollars cash. Let me emphasize once again, it is to bring dollars that they are holding outside the system, to be able to bring them in and credit it to their bank accounts. And as long as it is not proceeds of crime, illicit money, there will be no taxes, there will be no penalty, there will be no taxes, there will be no questions. They just meet the normal know your customer criteria of banks, and they are free, and they have an opportunity to bring in those funds, make them safe, make them secure, and make them available through normal economic activity. And of course, we know, and I reported, that in terms of the direct benefit and direct help to the general public, of course, there was wage award at first, now there's the new minimum wage. There is direct transfers to the people on the social register that has been put together by all levels of government and is being verified. And so people are paid after they have been uniquely identified biometrically, and they are paid digitally through a bank account or mobile wallet. And those payments have been rolled out. We have reached 5 million households, 25 million Nigerians, and first and second payments are being made. And that process of having a robust social register where you can reach people directly and help them with payments that allow them to now choose what their priority is and go and then deal with that priority is something that will be ongoing. A society always needs to help its poorest and its most vulnerable, no matter, because relatively you're always going to have people who need help. The consumer credit scheme to allow workers to be able to pay for things over time, to be able to afford various goods, including CNG kits, to convert their cars to a cheaper form of fuel. In the last 11 days, or in the last 5 days, I should say, 11,000 beneficiaries have received 3.5 billion naira. So that's an ongoing rollout of consumer credit to help people to make things more affordable to the worker. Of course, the student loan scheme has reached over 500,000 students and it has disbursed over 90 billion naira. And that is to the students for their fees, to the institutions for the students' fees directly, and then to the students for their upkeep. So, and it's interest-free loan. So that, of course, is providing access to higher education to so many who otherwise would not afford it. And as I mentioned earlier, the CNG initiative to provide a cheaper source of fuel for fueling mass transit and even personal vehicles is ongoing. In addition to that, we all know that food is critical, and we all know about the increased cost of food at this particular time. And it's a question of affordability and availability, and it's all about supply. So there are two ways that is being confronted. First of all, we do have a short-term program for millers to bring in raw materials, brown rice in this instance, to be able to mill and sell. And we are watching, because it's going to be duty-free and levy-free, the price will be lower, and we will monitor very carefully. It is millers who decide to enter the program that will be allowed to, and there will be criteria limiting. Of course, there will be a limit. The supply gap in rice, we believe, is about 2.5 million metric tons. So maybe half of that will be allowed to be filled by millers bringing in brown rice, raw material, and producing, so that there can be affordability and availability in the marketplace.
ẹni òfò ni ẹ ṣòfò láyé ẹ tún ṣe lálìkìyàmọ ẹ̀yin rádaràda wọ̀nyí. ẹni òfò ni ẹ ṣòfò láyé ẹ tún ṣe lálìkìyàmọ ẹ̀yin rádaràda wọ̀nyí.
Lie to lie. Some of it lie. Wa lie to lie. Wale idun. Na lie you lie. Haba. 25 million people collected 25,000 naira each. Last week, the guy who claimed to be the one in charge of a student loan said that they've disbursed at least 10 billion naira to more than 40,000 students. I bet you, now don't forget, that's what the guy said last week. So between last week and now, they have now disbursed 90 billion to 500,000 students, 500,000 students. The beru alone, takula, the beru alone, fear God, takula. Wale idun. 625 billion naira shared to 25 million Nigerians. Do you know that if they give their money to small and medium enterprises in Nigeria, let's say they start giving them 10 million, they will be able to give their money to over 62,000 of them. Yeah, if they start giving them 10 million, 62,000 will be helped, supported. Guess what? Those people can create more than 321,000 jobs, immediate jobs in Nigeria. And somebody said, if they hire, for example, that if they hired 3,000 special police, and they invest that money by buying 150 armored personnel carriers, and decide to pay these 3,000 special police, pay them like 500,000 a month for the next 1 year, and they send them straight after the terrorists that have chased people out of their farms, that Nigeria can actually grow food that can last Nigeria for the next 5 straight years and cut down food inflation in Nigeria. That's the 600. Instead of this, they are giving money to this, we are giving money to that. If they indeed shared, which is not true, they lifted themselves out of poverty and they dipped more of you in poverty. And they sat there just throwing figures. Just throwing figures to sound good, to sound like they are doing something. But when you begin to put that figure into perspective, you realize that this money could actually do a lot if the money is not being stolen or shared by themselves. Because right now, you go and sit down and watch the video again and say, are you sure what I said covers the how much? Because we have looted over 1 trillion naira. Do you think what I said covered everything? I say, Oga, you have done well. You are a very smart man, sir. Honestly speaking, the way you are rolling, the way you are throwing the numbers, you are a genius. Yeah, but what happened is that with this calculation, you have already covered 90% of the money we've looted. But we need to find means to put the rest now, okay? And say, okay, the remaining 200 billion call, we use that one, to rescue people from Tiger in Sambisa. Do you think they will buy that? They will buy it, Oga. Just tell them that we use the remain. So how much money did we loot? Congo. Everything is 1.6 trillion, sir. So with the figure I said earlier, how much is that one? Is 1.2 trillion, sir. Okay, 400 billion, Abi. Can we say that we use that money, that one, to rescue the bag of rice from some animals that we can't name them for the sake of national security? That's a very good idea, sir. Yeah. Okay. We'll do another press conference next week. And we'll tell them that we spend this one and that to rescue the bag of rice from these animals that we cannot name. Because that's what I see there. Just keep throwing figures, keep saying things. Everybody will be like, they don't try you. They don't try you. Like this one that was a minister under Bokuwari, but now he's a special advisor to Tinubu on communication. He said it is not demotion, it is call to service. Now he's doing exactly that. Tinubu is hiring people to lie to you by telling you that Tinubu know they sleep, they work overnight.
The problem? Would they have changed the lives of millions of Nigerians? I think what's important is you ask, do you have a leader who is abreast of development, who is applying himself to the challenges, who is unafraid and bold enough to take these decisions, and who is ready? He said it. He's ready to follow through on the decisions he has taken.
There are some of those who are close to him who said, if his money is not looking for one, if his popularity is not looking for one, if his political office is old enough to have seen a lot of it, but that what he wanted is to be the Lee Kuan Yew of Nigeria. But what is happening in Nigeria? Does Bola Tinubu looking like he's going to
How
be
many
the Lee
years?
Kuan Yew
How many
of
years did
Nigeria?
it take Lee Kuan Yew to turn that country around?
So you're asking for
how many years
for Bola
no,
Tinubu
listen,
to turn things
no,
around?
how many years, Sean?
But is he turning
it took
things
him
around right now?
Nearly over a decade to do it. Now, you're looking at just 2 years, less than 2 years, 18 months down the road. The framers of our Constitution, you must give them some credit. The framers of our Constitution, our presidential system, gave a first 4-year term and to the extent of a second and final 8-year tenure. There is some wisdom in that, because when it comes to governance, you can really achieve your plans. The first 2-3 years are the years of planting your policies and your reforms. It took Lee Kuan Yew 10 to 12 years to turn that country around.
You're saying Bola Tinubu needs 10 to 12
No,
years?
I'm saying, look, let's give him the benefit.
It's
just 18 months.
Should we be hopeful for the third year?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And we see the gestation, we see the actualization of some of these policies.
I want to just encourage Nigerians to keep faith with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This is a man who is adept at governance, a man who, like Awolowo said, burns the midnight oil when other men of easy virtue are carousing around. This is the man I worked with for 7 years, and we slept at 5, 4, 6 in the morning.
Does he still have the energy?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, now he still sleep at that time of the night.
Yes.
You need to take it easy, though.
Well, there's a job to be done.
Well, let me send you to him on behalf of many Nigerians.
There's a job to be done.
Let me send you. Let me tell you something. So you tell the president, he's your principal. You talk to him every time. Nigerians are suffering.
He knows the problem. Would they have changed the lives of millions of Nigerians? I think what's important is
this is his job. They hired him, Sunday Dari. They hired him to come and be a communication, special advisor to Tinubu on communication. And his job is to come and lie to you, to come and tell you that even if everything is going south, just know that Tinubu is burning the night candle. He's not sleeping, right? You know, they say that Otun Oyeni in Ibadan is from Oyo State, so he's from Ibadan. They say that Osioba Oyeni, even Oyetiton Oyeni, that means no chieftaincy left again. No, that to serve na chieftaincy title. They say this one are the right-hand man to the king, na title, chieftaincy title for Ibadan. If they say this one is the left-hand man to the king, is a chieftaincy title in Ibadan. Oyetiton, there is no chieftaincy again. There is no title again in Ibadan. It's also a chieftaincy title. Sunday Dari, who has become more useless after serving as a sports minister under Bukwari, has now been awarded the special advisor to call you on communication. And that's what he's doing. To come and I told you, they were hiring more and more because according to them, people working with Tinubu, they are not telling you what Tinubu is doing enough. These people are supposed to be telling you, Papa, you are supposed to see Nigeria and Argentina. You are almost in the same place. So last year, and then they elected their own government. This one robbed you and rigged himself in as your president. Argentina has made so much improvement, while Nigeria have sank further. Your currency trashed, your economy tanked, while your criminal politicians are living large. They are living large. But they are telling you to wait. Don't worry. They're doing everything. Lee Kuan Yew of Nigeria. God damn it, man. Okay. Here, was it last night that we had this image, which was uploaded by Isaac Fayose? Yeah, Ayo Faolese of Ekiti's brother. So he told us then that he was on his way to London. And Idris Bobrisky was on the same flight with him. And I actually thought that they were already in London. But no, they were not. They were still at Muritala Muhammad or so when was it even Muritala? I think it was in Abuja, right? So Bobrisky was leaving for London on a KLM flight to London, but the KLM flight was going to stop in Amsterdam, and then after that, connecting flight to London. But he didn't make it that far. So before the plane left Nigeria, EFCC, they took over the plane, so to say, looking for somebody, and that was Bobrisky. So it was a big fight until when they got him